Big week ahead on the economy, folks. On Wednesday, retail sales for July could signal how the inflation-weary consumer is holding up. And the Federal Reserve will release minutes from its last meeting. Could give us some clues on whether the Fed is likely to aggressively raise interest rates again when it meets in September. Those recent interest rate hikes by the Fed have made it more expensive to finance a home. This week, mortgage rates rose to 5.22%, up sharply from the less than 3% late last year. Several key housing reports are due out this week. Let's bring in Bess Freedman, CEO of Brown Harris Stevens, a real estate firm with 3,000 agents in Florida, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. I read something last week, Bess, that no one's happy in real estate right now. The sellers are angry that they didn't sell at the top, right? And the buyers still can't find an affordable home. Is anybody happy in real estate at the moment?
You know, I think it's coming into being a much more balanced market. And you're right. I don't think sellers or buyers are happy right now. But there's still some good opportunities, Christine. And I think what you just mentioned about gas prices falling below $4 a gallon, which is the first time since March, gives us a little bit of optimism. And hopefully inflation has peaked. But consumer confidence has been a little bit shaky with all the challenges, the geopolitical crisis that's going on with Russia invading Ukraine, et cetera. And so I think we're coming into just a more balanced housing market. And remember, housing is such a long-term play. It's a safe bet. And it's about time, not timing in housing. That gives you great results.
I guess a lot of people expect the Federal Reserve will continue to ratchet up interest rates here as it fights inflation. That will mean higher mortgage rates. What are customers and clients telling you about higher rates and how that's affecting their ability to buy a home?
Yeah, I mean, the consumer has less buying power because rates have gone up. But again, you know, Christine, mortgage rates are still historically low, and we have to contextualize everything. They've creeped up past 5%. I think they'll probably get raised again because there was so much money put into the economy during the pandemic. It was like a tsunami of money. And so I think now the Fed has to tighten things up. And I think there's still great opportunities and buyers can still get decent rates. And, you know, they're holding back a little bit to wait and see what happens.
Sure. And we know for renters here, they're not getting any relief either. New York City just announced the average monthly rent is north of $5,000 a month. For much of the country, you can't even, I'm from the Midwest, you just can't even imagine something like that. But that is what happens every day in New York City. Are people still doing this buy rent analysis when you've got rents going up so much too?
Yeah, I mean, people are studying that. If I had any prediction, I would say that the rental market has peaked. I mean, I just had a friend tell me that his rent was increased 30% in New York City, and that's just not sustainable for people. And so people are getting priced out of the rental market. So I think that's going to slow down a little bit, and I think people might start to consider purchasing versus renting because the prices are just too egregious right now.
Yeah. What's your advice to buyers who, for the past year and a half or 2 years, would go to an open house and we'd be beat out by somebody with all cash or with all these offers way above asking price? I mean, you know that was happening in the Northeast, that was happening in Phoenix, that was happening in Miami, all over the country. Has that cooled off? Does a reasonable buyer who wants to put 20% down and a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, do they have a chance? Will they have a chance this year?
I mean, it really, as you know, real estate is so local and it depends on what market. If you're in Palm Beach right now, there's no supply, so you're going to be challenged. But for example, in New York City and certain parts of Brooklyn, you can be very competitive and we're not seeing as many bidding wars. There's less people at open houses, less offers. It is August. So I think you can get in there and find something good. I would recommend working with an agent who can help you and guide you. But there's still tons of opportunity throughout the country.
I wonder if there's been a decline in foreign buyers. For a long time there, so many of these first-time home buyers were international buyers, competing with first-time home buyers in the United States. Is that still the trend?
Yeah, we're not seeing, I mean, there's been all this discussion of the international buyer returning. to our market, to the home buying market or investing. But we're not seeing that yet. I think it's too soon to say. It would be great. I would love to see some of that. But I haven't seen it as of yet.
All right.
We could use it, though, that's for sure.
A real estate market getting back to normal, getting back into balance. Bess Freedman, CEO of Brown Harris Stevens, thank you so much. Come back soon.
Thank you, Christine. Have a great day.